Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Verdie. I am a licensed nail tech, small business owner, and content creator. Today we're going to be doing some acrylic press-on nails, and let's just go ahead and get right into it. I like to use my these nail stands. These are pretty inexpensive. They are in my Amazon storefront if you are looking for nail stands. I also like to use these tabs, or you can use the blue tacky stuff. Everything that I use will be listed in the description box below, along with any discount codes that I might have. I'm going to be doing some long square nails today. These tips are available on my website. So before I even really get started, I want to clean up the shape of the nails. I'm not going to shorten the length of the nail, so I want to make sure that that little tab that's at the tip of the nail, I file that off. And then for my thumbs, I want to make sure that I square off the cuticle area. My thumb isn't as round as the rest of my fingers, so I just want to make sure that with all the nails I get them shaped, especially around the cuticle area, as close to my nail shape as possible. That's going to make sure I have a better fit. That's going to make sure that the nails look a little bit more like an acrylic set than an acrylic press-on set. So after I take care of that, I like to etch the surface of my nail tip because I want to make sure that all the products I use adhere to the nail and don't peel off. So I'm going to do that on all 10 nails and place all the nails on my stand. The thumbs on for this set, I planned on doing a gel polish ombre, and you'll see that it actually didn't work out too well for me in this instance, spoiler alert, but I did go in and fix it. So just make sure you watch the whole video to see how I corrected the ombre. So I'm just going to go in with Eden's Rose Rubber Base Coat and Eden's Rose Gel Polish. Actually, she calls them, they're called Petal Gels. And I put the rubber base coat on, I cure for 60 seconds, and then I put on black on one hand and white on the other hand. And these two, again, are going to be the gel polish ombres that I'm going to be doing. So after I do the gel polish, I do cure that in the lamp for a minute as well. Now I'm going to be using some transfer foil, so I'm going in with Young Nails transfer foil base, and for me this is the transfer foil that actually works the best. It does not need to be cured in the lamp, it air dries, so you want to give it about 45 seconds to a minute to completely dry before you apply that transfer foil. You also want to make sure that your layer is, I don't want to say thick, but I want to say that you want to make sure that you have enough product and that that product covers everywhere you want that gel polish to be. I'm sorry, that transfer foil to be. And after you let it air dry for 45 seconds to a minute, go ahead, use your transfer foil. You can use your finger, or you can use a silicone tool, whatever you prefer to get that foil to transfer onto the nail. So once you're done with that, because I'm going on top of this with acrylic, I'm just going to put a layer of rubber base coat. You can use top coat, you can use whatever you want. I like to use base coat because it is going to give me a layer for my next layer of product to stick to. The top coat, I feel like it's too shiny, the surface is too smooth, and I have a feeling it might peel off eventually, whatever you put on top of that. So I like to use a base coat if I'm going to do acrylic on top of the transfer foil. So back to these thumbs. You can see my line of demarcation. I'm going in with PEEKY Nude by Not Polish, and I feel like this cover powder is a little bit too light to really get rid of that line of demarcation for me. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of black acrylic from Eden's Rose. It's called Black Panther. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of that to kind of blend in the nude acrylic and then that gel polish, just because that line of demarcation, I couldn't get rid of it, and I didn't want the press on to be too bulky. So I'm just trying to improvise here to try and get that ombre done, I guess. So I'm just going to let that set for a while. Then I move on to the other thumb, which is in white. And I'm just going to do my ombre here, and then I'm going to encapsulate in clear. I typically, when I do my encapsulations, I use Speed Clear by Young Nails just because it is a pretty clear acrylic, as well as I like how you could still work wet with it for the encapsulation and it's going to still dry pretty quickly. I also, another thing with your ombres, if you don't have that perfect ombre, go in with a natural clear, not a clear, go in with like a natural, and it's kind of fuzzy, so it'll kind of like mask if the ombre isn't perfect. But here I'm doing Speed Clear, which is a clear. I hope that makes sense. After I'm done with this, I'm going to go back to the other thumb, the black thumb, and use some more of that nude and try and even out that ombre. I was able to get rid of the line of demarcation. Overall, for me, I don't think these are my best ombres. I think I've done better ombres, but I wanted to keep them in just to show that there you can kind of fix things, or you can kind of switch your design just to kind of save the design. I thought about cutting the thumbs out because I didn't like how they came out, but I'm like, no, let me just show how I improvise. So that's why I kept it in. So you guys, please be nice in the comments. After I fix the ombre, I do go in and encapsulate this nail as well. I'm going to do an ombre on the nails I use transfer foil on. And the reason, again, just to go back to the transfer foil nails, I use the base coat because I didn't want to mess up the foil with the monomer and the acrylic. So you'll see me do that. And then you'll also see me, the last two nails, I'm actually just going to do those in a solid nude. And you'll see why when the design comes together. So I'm going to play a little bit of music and let you guys watch the acrylic application. I have been told that it is relaxing, so I am going to let you guys watch the rest of the acrylic application without me talking so much. Okay, so here is everything with the acrylic laid. I am going to show you my filing process. I'm only going to show one nail. The reason I like to use the tabs that you actually use for press-ons is because, or the tack, you can take the nail off and put it back on the stand, because I can't do the filing with the nail on the stand. So I like to take that off, and then when I'm done filing, I just put it right back on, and that tab is still sticky for me. So I'm just showing my process here, and the main things that I try and do when I'm doing my filing is make sure my sidewalls are crisp, making sure there's no bulk of acrylic on the sidewalls. A lot of that is through application, and then I want to make sure that that cuticle area is as smooth as possible. For me, I feel like I get a better application on press-ons than I do on actual nails, and it's kind of funny because it's like I like the look of acrylic laid directly on the nail, but I like to actually make acrylic press-ons better. So I'm going to buff everything out, knock off all the dust, and then just move on to the rest of the nails. Also, one thing I didn't mention is just look at your nail from all angles and rub your finger on the nail and just to see that the nail is smooth. If it's not, go ahead and smooth that out with filing. So I still didn't like the ombre. So I'm going in with this brush. I bought this brush because I struggle with French. I don't know how many of you guys struggle with French. So I bought this angled brush from Amazon. It is in my Amazon storefront to see if I can get a better French. And the way that I did it, it kind of gives old school French. It doesn't give like the latest trendy Frenches. So I will say it's a good tool to use, but you kind of got to improvise a little bit and then kind of bring those, how do I explain this? Kind of get a striping brush and bring those sides down a little bit more. I do like how it turned out. I don't love how it turned out, but this was just me trying to fix that ombre nail. And again, I wanted to take the thumbs out, but I'm like, how am I going to have a press-on set with no thumbs? So because I'm not giving this press-on set away or selling this press-on set, it's fine. If this was something that I were to sell, I definitely would have scrapped those two thumbs and went back and did it over until it was perfect. And that kind of brings me to a point I want to make. A lot of people are always like asking, why are acrylic press-ons so expensive? You know, it's not like you're actually coming in for a service. But this whole set, the total time for me on this set was about 2.5 hours. So the total time for a set on a person would be close to that same time frame. I used gel polish, I used transfer foil, ombre. So there was a lot of different techniques that went into it, and those techniques do take time. So a lot of people have the expectation that you're only paying for the set because of the products used. You're also paying for products used, time, technique, skill, experience. So those are a lot of things to consider, because if it takes me almost 3 hours to do something, there's absolutely no way I'm selling it for $20 or I'm selling it for just cost of product. That's, you know, and a lot of nail techs or people that do press-ons, they do that as their main business. And I feel like people should charge according to their worth. And yes, people should be able to charge in order to pay their bills, save, go on vacation. Same as, you know, a person that has a 8-to-5 job. So consider that before you complain about prices, or when you are asking why is this so expensive, consider that a lot of work goes into these things. It may look simple outside looking in, but a lot of the times these things take a couple hours, if not more. So there is my completed set. I really do like how these turned out. I'm a little iffy on the French, but other than that, I think this set turned out really, really cute. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And let me know in the comments down below how much you would expect to pay for this set of acrylic press-ons that took 2.5 hours to complete. I'm curious to see, you know, where everyone's at. Also, I know that people do a lot of DIYs. Let me know if you are doing DIY press-on nails. Just, you know, let me know what's going on in the comments below. Again, every product I use will be listed in the comments below with any discount codes that I have. I didn't mention everything I used on screen, so check out the description box. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel, and I will see you guys Wednesday for another video. Thank you so much for watching.